31 Days of Horror with Mark.
Rubbish.
God's sake, no, it's been annoying in the background. That's fine. So, bit of company tonight, who is Yvonne, who is hiding behind the chat. So, there she is. So, yeah, so if you've got the chat, I don't know if you want to kind of minimise that, but we'll keep an eye on the kind of comments if there is any. There's none now because there's 0 viewers, so that's fine. Nobody likes us.
That's alright. That's okay. We'll just do it for us, hen.
Yeah, so, do you want to swap sides, or?
No, it's okay.
We'll just,
That's fine. This is your thing.
What if I do that?
Oh.
There we go.
All
Now
right.
you're slightly there now.
Yeah. Okay.
So, day 8 of 31 Days of Horror, and this evening's watch is my annual. That's not like it says kind of Christine backwards on here, but it's.
I think they get it just. It's Christine.
Reflection. There we go. We'll do it
I
like
think
that.
they've got it.
Do it like that. Yeah, right, okay. So yeah, Christine is one of my favourite films of all time, and it's about an evil car. It's about an evil, nasty, like possessed car, which basically means it sounds like a big pile of shite. But it's not a big pile of shite. It's actually really good. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we're on the big screen as well now.
I'm trying to look at it.
Yeah, you're not even looking at anything there. You're just like, So yeah, in case you haven't kind of seen it, it's been out for 37 years. 1983. So as it says, it's a bit. So it's a Stephen King adaptation, and it's a John Carpenter film. And as anybody kind of know, John Carpenter back in the 70s and 80s was pretty much untouchable. Anything he kind of released was pretty much awesome. I will not hear a bad word said about him. Although he did release a shite film called Big Trouble in Little China.
Take that back. Right now.
I will not. It is terrible. No, I'm only joking. It is not terrible.
Awesome.
So yeah, so Stephen King adaptation. I just kind of read that apparently it was essentially in production before I think the book was even published. So that's I think how hot Stephen King was back in the day. So yeah, the film follows your general kind of nerd Arnie as he is. Get in there.
No.
Get in there. Arnie is he buys his first car, which is a '57 Plymouth Fury. I don't know much about cars, but I know about this one because I've loved like the car since I was a kid, which is why this kind of one is actually called The Other Woman, aka Christine. So like, yeah, you should be getting jealous because you're technically the shitter that gets between me and Christine.
Alright.
Yeah.
You can't drive.
Well, yeah, but like I'd learn to drive if I could drive Christine.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. So general nerd. Potentially this is why I relate to it as a younger person, being a fat messy nerd myself. But yeah. So Arnie buys his first car, Christine, which is essentially a piece of shit when it first starts. But as it kind of progresses, he kind of does it up and like makes it all kind of like cherry, as he kind of refers to it during the film. Everyone's like, "Oh, does that happen?" It does happen because it's like I think it's like a 50s freeze,
Okay.
and obviously the car's from the 50s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's fine.
So anyway, yeah. So he gets his cherry car and you know gets a girl, and it's all really kind of nice. Obviously, but in the underlying thing in the background is that we're going to take Mouse has just messaged me asking where the stream is. I don't know if you want to kind of grab your phone so you can kind of just she's wanting to watch us.
Well, what am I saying?
So just it's actually the link is actually in the thing. She just needs to actually kind of go on that link I sent her. So.
Just carry on.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so Yvonne's disappeared to actually kind of let somebody else view this. Potentially the Mace viewers I'm going to actually have on the stream. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, so nerd does up car, like fair enough. But as I said before, the car's evil. Now that might kind of sound shite, and I don't care what you say. It's no, the atmosphere is really kind of well done. Most of the kind of like the fear is essentially played in by dialogue. So like for example, the person that Arnie buys a car off with, there's a point where his friend Dennis goes back and speaks to the boy and he's like, what the hell's going on? Like my mate's a wee bit kind of like weird in the head right now. And it turns out that the reason for this is that 3 people have effectively died in the car that we know of. So there's like the previous owner, his daughter, and his wife, and this is all kind of told in I think like 3 or 4 sentences of dialogue, and it's like it plays the atmosphere up so much. It's not a huge exposition dump. It's, as I say, it's a couple of kind of sentences about like how like fucked up this car actually is, and what's actually done to the previous owner. And so yeah, that's kind of creepy, and it's saying right. I'm gonna right.
Brain fart.
Yeah, I usually have a brain fart on my side as well, and it doesn't help with getting more viewers as well. So, yeah. So, aside from that, yeah. So the car's evil. Like we find out why. There's a lot of kind of stuff, and I keep getting messages up on the screen, so it's blocking me. They can't see me, which is probably a benefit. So, yeah.
I was just going to say, I do like how at the start, obviously, God's sake, I can't even remember the guy's name, the main guy.
Arnie.
Arnie, I was going to say Archie.
Yeah. No, it's no Archie. Archie's not that cool. We've already lost viewers because of that.
Arnie is like obviously like a geek.
Well, yeah,
kind of dorky sort of.
Yeah,
sort of guy. Yeah.
I said nerd.
I know. Well,
And I likened them to
dorky
me.
guy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously as the film progresses, he just gets more
badass.
Well,
I'd
say doofus.
Well, yeah, more
but-
douchey. Yeah, like it's a coming of age tale whereby the coming of age is a guy into a douchebag.
Yeah.
But yeah, so John Carpenter film, as I say, is back in the 80s. So anything, as I say, he made, I was pretty much on board with.
I don't think I'd seen anything until you showed me.
Didn't get me started with that.
Yeah.
One thing I think that really kind of shines in this film as well is the special effects. Still to this day, like as I say, the film came out in 1983. But like some of the practical effects, like the car reconstituting itself at one point, the scene was like, show me. Like,
Yeah, it's your favourite bit.
it's one of my favourite bits. I love that kind of bit. I also love that at one point the car is driving whilst on fire. Like some mental cases driving this car, and it's not like a couple of wee flames. It's not like, oh, look at that little spattering of flames. It's like the fucking thing's on fire. And so I've always loved that scene. There's like it's driving down like a dark road, and like the flames are going like ape shit, and it just like it looks absolutely kind of fantastic.
Just kind of wonder what insurance companies were thinking, you know? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Just like
So I've kind of waffled on a bit, and I've obviously got company, as you can see. Evil on.
Don't ask me anything.
Well, I'm gonna ask, yeah, because like, you know, this can't just be about me. I've not just brought you along for nothing.
Wait then.
Right? Okay. Right.
I'm only joking.
I will sit like this.
No. What
No,
was
I'll
I
sit like
saying?
this,
What,
and you talk about what did you like
no,
about it?
I like. Well, oh no, I'm on the spot now.
You're not on the spot. Come on.
No,
We just sat and watched it, so
Yeah, well, I kind of I've seen it before, but I was kind of in and out, so. Like,
yeah, no, but like, come on.
Okay.
Did you like the same things I liked? Did you not like the same things I
I
liked?
do. Well, I like the film a lot. I think it's in a way it's obviously it's very creepy and stuff, and like when Christine is kind of like, well, let's just say mowing down like the guys that pretty much dented her or kind of
just a tiny little
well,
dent.
you know, like kind of bashed her up and stuff like that. I think it's like pretty badass.
Should say there's spoilers in this, but again,
Oh, yeah, so
Erin will love this because like I'm always like, oh no, spoilers! Like I can't believe they spoiled Planet of the Apes on the cover of the film and stuff like that. But yeah, 1983. Like so, like I'm sorry if there's spoilers. If you do want to watch it and you've never seen it, run away and come back. I'll load this up on YouTube. You can watch it later. Sorry, you were saying.
No, I was just saying that, yeah, I do like the fact how Arnie obviously starts off as like geeky, doofusy, nerdy, whatever you want to say, and then obviously just the the influence of Christine and stuff like that, he just kind of turns into a bit of a douche.
Yeah.
He's just like, you know, he's pretty horrible, especially to Lee, whose girlfriend
Yeah.
and stuff, and think it's pretty horrible, isn't he?
It's pretty
Just
horrible, yeah, like, because as I've kind of named this kind of post, like, Christine is effectively, for lack of a better term, the other woman. Like, even though, like, he's gone out with, like, Lee at the time and everything, Christine is, like, he's essentially cheating on Lee with Christine the entire film. Like, although maybe he's cheating on Christine with Lee because, like, the relationship with him and Christine starts earlier. But, like, yeah, there's a lot of kind of, like, you know, you feel like, you know, should you guys be alone? You know, you want to kind of get with this car?
I'm actually wondering, you know, when they're in the, like, drive-through movie bit, I'm just like, how the hell can you see a movie? It's bloody pissing rain. It's just like, I can't see anything.
So I don't think they're there to watch the film.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if you were kind of watching, but yeah.
But I'm actually surprised they actually let Lee have, like, the burger, like, on the...
Is that burger? Because I always thought it was like a...
Looks like a burger.
Hello, Taco Maniac Treble 4. Not too sure who you are, but hiya. So, like, yeah, because, I mean, it looks like a roll, and that's fine.
I just think it's a burger.
You guys are on the first ever Twitch kiss cam. If the kiss is good, you do something funny, I will follow. No, you're alright. This isn't like one of these creepy streams. We're just going to talk a bit of film. But you do you, pal. Like, but we're not going to do each other on this. Sorry, like, if that's what you tuned in for, sorry.
We are together. But we're not going to do that.
I hope so.
Well,
Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing in my house?
Okay. Who are you?
So, sorry, Taco Maniac Treble 4, you're going to have to get your kicks elsewhere.
Sorry.
You could still watch the review.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about?
It's a burger.
Is that burger?
Yeah. I would say it's a burger because it's a burger.
It looks like
a ham sandwich.
Well, no, but it's wrapped in foil, so, like, part of me is like, is it a baked potato? But it's not a baked potato because obviously it doesn't look.
Baked potato.
I know. Like, yeah. Anyway, I think we're getting.
I guess well, anyway, I'm just surprised that, you know, his beloved Christine, she's pristine and everything like that. I'm just surprised.
Christine.
Yep, Christine. And the fact that obviously Christine goes, "Oh, what are you doing with my man?" sort of thing, and then she starts to choke in the car and stuff, and then obviously Arnie's like, "Oh, Lee," just like.
No, I mean, like, to be fair, like, he isn't just like, "Oh, Lee," like, he is, like, he does seem to actively look like he's trying to get in the car.
I just kind of wonder how long that guy was watching before he actually gives Lee a hand. It was just like, she's just a bit deep, pal.
He does kind of come out of nowhere to save the day, and, like, you're just kind of like, he does seem like really kind of huggy wear afterwards. It's like, yeah, you've done your job, buddy.
I didn't notice he tended to linger around here a bit.
See, I'm pretty sure that was her hands.
Was it?
Yeah,
right.
I'm pretty sure that because otherwise,
like,
it's it gets kind of like quite creepy there. Yeah. But yeah, so that seems like, again, just kind of. I think that's one of the first scenes where you really get to see, like, Christine get really kind of jealous. So there's obviously hints in the kind of film. Like the opening kind of scene, the cars on the assembly line, some guy gets his hand like gnawed off by the bonnet or hood, if we're talking, because it's an American like thing, so slice, and then there's a boy that gets in the car and he's like, ooh, drops some cigar ash on the kind of chair and then dies in it mysteriously, and I don't think it's ever really kind of established what happens to him aside for the fact that something's a bit weird here. And then it isn't until I think, so I'm just trying to think if that is like the first bit that you really get to see the car do something kind of properly creepy. I think like there's tiny hints. There's like the bits where the radio goes on and what have you. We're losing viewers apparently. Like this is kind of boring them. But possibly Taco Maniac has left us. But yeah, so. I think that's the first kind of bit, and like everything lights up, and again like the radio plays, but the radio only like plays these 50s songs, which I think is really kind of cool as well. Again, it adds to the creepiness of. I think I said this to you before, whereby I think older music, and kind of more contemporary kind of like settings and stuff like that it makes it creepier. Like I was talking to you about BioShock and how like they use a lot of the music for the 30s, and I really like that.
And it's just like at the end of Jeepers Creepers as well, like it's the old school sort of just at the end of the film.
It's on a record as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it just adds the creepiness as well.
Yeah,
it's quite cool.
Yeah. So stuff starts to obviously go downhill. So obviously we kind of mentioned that like Arnie kind of like gets a wee bit kind of revengey, but like essentially just to kind of establish at the start of the film, he is essentially being bullied by like the local gang. So Buddy Ripperton.
Buddy with those cracking mutton chops.
With the mutton chops and that rocking hairdo.
Yep. That you say is like mine.
Yeah, and some of the best acting ever.
Yep.
I'll fix you. You're just like, all right,
Oh,
pal.
what else has he been in?
I don't know. Like, so I think I read as well. Like, apparently there was a couple of kind of so Scott Baio, so the guy that played Chachi in like Happy Days,
Oh yeah.
and Brooke Shields were actually like set to play the leads
Oh.
in
right.
this, but like they wanted to actually kind of go with more unknowns, and I think that actually kind of like serves the kind of film quite well. I think I was saying that Keith Gordon, so the guy that plays Arnie, is more of a director these days. I think the other guys have had,
Oh, the guy who plays Dennis.
yeah,
Dennis, yeah.
yeah,
I know, I just watched it. I can't remember the name. Dennis, yeah.
yeah.
And the last that plays Lee, she's in Dragnet.
Ah,
That's
right.
what I recognise her from. It's
Ah.
just that she's got that really soft voice. Like, no, it's just like I really like her voice. I think it's adorable, but
It's
mine's
a
so
goddamn
low.
car, Arnie.
I know. No, Arnie. It's just like, but yeah,
It's like the car was jealous, Arnie.
she seems to get very friendly with Dennis as well. I mean, I know they're kind of wanting to save Arnie, but towards the
Yeah,
end
but
of the
like,
film,
I think it's more like, like they didn't kind of like go straight into a relationship. Like,
no,
I think
but
it's
kind of implied.
I think it's implied that maybe they'll get together afterwards for the mutual kind of like sadness.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we did also say as well that Kelly.
Kelly Preston's in it as well. Yeah, which was quite sad to see.
Yeah.
And obviously, like the late great Harry Dean Stanton as well. He just kind of pops up like in everything. Who I think at times sometimes gets confused with Dick Miller, and everyone's going to look at me and go, "He's Dick Miller." He's in Gremlins. So the guy that plays Mr. Futterman.
What, the dad?
No.
Who?
So like their neighbour, like the one that,
Oh, right.
like, who's drunk and just that little bit racist.
Oh, right.
Like, he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's like, goddamn foreign cars. You're like, oh, all right, pal. Like,
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, so but Harry Dean Stanton's in it as well.
Also, the guy, obviously we recognise from Home Alone.
Yeah,
He's really thin in this film. It's just
Well, I mean,
like,
he's not exactly like a fat guy in Home Alone, is he?
oh, I know, but it's just like, what's he wearing? It's like some kind of brace thing.
Well,
just
yeah,
like-
like,
What's he wearing?
yeah, it's a brace thing.
Oh, yeah, but it looks weird. He doesn't have a shirt on. So he's got like the brace thing, and then he's got the jacket.
All right, okay.
Pal.
It's a weird thing to fixate on,
I
but
know, but it's just because when I watched it, I noticed he's a credibly, I guess he's sadly passed on now, but he was a credibly thin guy. And it's just like, I noticed when he turned kind of around, there was something sticking out the back of his jacket. I was like, what is that?
yeah,
it's
like
just
when
like-
you first see him, he's wearing the kind of back brace. He's obviously got back problems, Yvonne.
He's got a shirt on.
Erin says hello.
Hello.
Hello, Erin.
Hiya.
Is it no good to see me as well, Erin? Thanks, much appreciated.
Oh, maybe I should just do the rest of these.
Yeah, maybe I'll just switch on and leave. Yeah. So obviously I think a fan favourite character kind of both ways is Darnell. So the guy that owns the
Yeah.
junkyard is just absolutely hilarious.
It's just that bit when he gives Arnie the opportunity, you can do a few jobs and you might throw in a few bucks. It's like, oh, think about it. Don't wait too fucking long.
So we are in your fucking ass. Cock right there.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yes, I am wearing my birthday shirt.
Yay.
Talking about Christine. Just in case, obviously, I don't know if you've been watching it for the start, Erin. It's Christine Night. The same kind of, obviously, the one film I watch every single year. And I was saying to one, I think the other one that I occasionally dabble in pretty much on a yearly basis is American Werewolf from London, because, well, come on now.
Yeah,
Feels like I've seen a lot of you lately. Well, then turn me off. If if I'm offending you, you're right there.
Yeah,
Would you
fine.
like a drink of juice?
No, thank you.
Right. So so where were we? We were talking about so Darnell, who's just a great character, who's like, I'll throw you out the fucking ass, chewing his tobacco and what have you.
I'm just surprised that he spit it. Like,
Well, yeah, like that's maybe just a wee bit too disgusting. So
I know, it's
you're like,
horrible. People chew tobacco. It's
yeah, it's kind of minging.
Yeah.
Aaron watched Christine Women last year. We done Misery and Christine last year, I think, in a double bill, and then I watched Cujo afterwards, which.
I've something seen Cujo, yeah.
Yeah, good laugh about a nice friendly pooch. It's almost as kind of happy and go lucky as Turner and Hooch. Yeah, it's fucking
Cujo's like a St. Bernard, isn't he?
yeah, and a very pissed off rabies filled St. Bernard that's pretty kind of it's pretty grim. So where were we? So special effects wise, as I say, I love the fact that as I say, there's a lot of kind of special effects in the film that still stand up. The car, as I say, is coming back together. It being essentially on fire, whilst some kind of maniac's like, I'm just going to drive it. Yeah, what do I know? I'm trying because, as I say, I love this film, and now my brain's like, no, I'm not going to help you with like stuff to talk about, Mark. No.
So I was just going to talk about like more the end bit. You know how when we were watching it, I said, you know how Dennis kind of crawls through the window with his broken leg, and like Lee's just standing there waiting for open doors. Like she could have crawled through, just like, and then you were like, oh, she's a lady. I'm like, it's fine, just maybe offer to crawl through the window.
No, maybe he was being chivalrous. It's like, oh, I'll do it for your lady, and like she's like, aye, all right then.
And then, like,
okay, Dennis, you can do that for me. So yeah, but like just to establish as well, Dennis gets himself nailed fairly midway through like the film.
It's the start, isn't it? Well, no, about half an hour, maybe.
Half an hour, 40 minutes in,
Yeah.
he gets like properly nailed
proper
by what's it called?
Like ogling like
Well,
Arnie.
so the first thing you see Christine fully restored, drives onto the kind of lot, and Dennis is kind of running a football field to kind of catch his glimpse, like the fuck is going on here, and then Arnie kind of comes out with the most most beautiful girl in school at the time, which is Lee, and it gets nailed by some other boy, and
She's like,
and ends up pretty much in traction and almost paralysed and what have you. So obviously he's got the broken leg because he's like he's cabbaged.
You kind of wonder, like, I don't know if it's just like, you know, my thinking, but I didn't know if they should have removed his helmet. And she's like, well, we've got a broken neck. You just leave it.
Yeah. Okay. So you've watched too much ER. That's what I'm going to say there.
Maybe causing more damage.
I'm just like, as I say, I keep kind of like, huh?
I know we keep going off in tangents.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
fine. That's fine.
That's right.
Other thing I love about this is it's kind of got the token John Carpenter score. Again, anybody that's ever seen a John Carpenter film will know that pretty much everything he kind of made, he done the music for. Again, like the score is absolutely brilliant. Coupled with the fact that, as I say, is that the Christine itself only plays 50s rock. And like very apt 50s rock. There's a bit where Dennis is trying to kind of get into the car to have a look and go, what the hell's going on here? And then you hear I hear you knocking but you can't come in, or you keep on knocking but you can't come in. I don't know if that's the title of the song, but yeah. Wasn't the story based loosely on the car that killed James Dean? Apparently they put that engine in another car and it killed again. I'll take your word for that, Erin. Like nice wee bit of trivia if it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we say knowledgeable, like.
Well, I say knowledgeable.
Like the amount of times, like she'll be like, remember that film with that guy for that thing who like tied his shoelace one time, and I'll be like, is it that film, Erin? She'll be like, yeah. Don't know how I understand a word she says sometimes, but yeah, so, like she comes up with random facts. So like she knew that Ned Flanders was apparently 60 when we done the Simpsons quiz. So
that was quite
good as
handy.
well. Speaking of Simpsons, this was obviously. Christine was obviously parodied in Futurama as well with the episode The Honkin', where Bender turns into a werecar.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you remember the one, but then the car that first transmits the evil were virus is actually like Project Satan, and it's quite clearly like a Christine kind of rip-off. And yeah, like he looks sad, but he's no sad because like he likes to kind of squish people into chunky mustard, if I remember rightly.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's kind of referenced in that. Like a lot of the kind of shots actually in that episode are very kind of reminiscent of like the Christine film. There's like a bit where Leela jumps over a fence and like Bender smashes through the fence, and again it's kind of replicated in well, it's obviously for the film as well. So like I'm obviously not the only fan. I think sadly for the most part with most of Carpenter's films back in the day, they were very kind of they weren't actually kind of huge box office juggernauts.
Was Christine popular?
So I think potentially might have made its kind of bank with the fact that what was it called? It was a Carpenter and it was a Stephen King adaptation. But I think it made 21 million, but I don't know what the budget was. But like notoriously, unfortunately, most of the Carpenter films in the 80s, which this seems like an absolute fucking travesty, but like we're all flops. Yeah, like The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, like any film that you essentially could consider a cult classic film back
Yeah.
in the day was apparently not well received. I think,
But now they've got lots of love.
yeah, critics kind of ripped into kind of like the thing, basically saying it was kind of like it was all schlocky and horrible and like horrific, as like you guys all need slapped because
Yeah.
the thing is one of the best films ever. But yeah, going back to Christine,
Oh, go for a tangent again.
that's fine. It's flowing, so yeah.
Yeah.
So as I say, is the only film I've kind of watched every single year since I started this back in 2016. I medically need to watch this film. I've had it on DVD and now have it on Blu-ray as well.
Is there anything, after your multiple viewings, like over the years, is there anything that you noticed that you've never noticed before?
Again, no, really.
No.
I noticed our cat being a little bit kind of
He's
annoying.
being sneaky.
Great, come on. Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, like there's also like aside from I think some of the choppy acting, like the guy that plays Buddy, as I say, is like, well, I'll fix you. You wish you were never fucking born. Like it's like, oh, like it's like pretty cringy. And I think sometimes some of the lines for Arnie, you're like, okay, like it's not awful. Buddy's probably I think the worst offender, but thankfully is prevalent a kind of character isn't like is like I was going to say like as much like an antagonist as he actually is, and kind of he actually like transitions Arnie to be as kind of killery as he ends up being. He's no in it like a lot.
No.
He is fairly intimidating looking, so long
Yeah.
as he doesn't really kind of talk too much.
Was it like Sanka's out the room, and I should remember this, but was it just like when they're in the workshop,
Yeah, yeah.
kind of like Corner and Arnie or whatever? Is it like the teacher that kind of tells Buddy off, or is it just like
Yeah, yeah, aye.
swear at him or something? Is it like, or does he swear? I don't know.
Aye, like, he's like, you bald fuck, like, it's a,
Teachers and that, I don't think they get away with that really.
yeah, after he stabs Arnie's kind of yogurt with a switchblade.
Oh.
So like Buddy's probably, as I say, he's probably the least competent actor on set, which is possibly a bit guff, but it is what it is. He's intimidating looking, and the points where he like, I think the point where he gets chased, and as like the point where the car ends up on fire and everything, like he gets chased into like a garage, and like the car gets smashed into his two pals, and then the garage explodes and he runs off, and then as I say, there's that scene where he's kind of running down the dark highway with Christine on fire in the background.
That's kind of like a iconic shot, isn't it? Just
Well,
like,
yeah, like I think I could be wrong, and like if Tom York's watching, I think potentially the video for Karma Police was maybe, or is at least partially inspired by Christine, because there's obviously it's the like him like the boy running down the kind of street whilst the cars, no the street the road whilst
Yeah.
the kind of cars chasing them
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I don't know if it was a deliberate homage to John Carpenter.
Could be.
Don't know.
I was just going to say that again towards the end. What was it? I was remember watching it. I was just like, I think when Dennis is in the big, what would you call it? Like a.
It's a bulldozer one.
Bulldozer. That's it.
Yeah.
Bulldozer.
I
And
got
he's
you.
like going over like Christine, or no, Lee's the bait.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's just sort of standing there, just like, move any time, hen.
Well, no,
Just
but like she has to stand
No,
there,
but it's
otherwise
just like-
Christine will move.
no,
I've
but
said
it's just
this
like,
to you.
Dennis has got her.
Dennis doesn't have her entirely.
Does.
No, he doesn't.
He
Like
does,
he,
and he
he's
just squishes her.
he's squishing, and then like it seems like Christine's like, okay, I'm done,
Just like-
and then she starts up again. So like,
But she's like,
So-
he's like looking as like,
I know.
if I look at the end of my shift when I'm working, I'm like, ugh.
so if Dennis was if Dennis kind of was like, all right, I'll just leave it, Christine would have kind of went and turned her into chunky mustard.
To say, like, I know Dennis got a broken leg and stuff, or maybe not so much broken because he can still kind of walk on it and stuff, but like, he seems to, Lee seems to get quite a rough sort of bit in that bit because she's kind of like getting chased a lot by Christine. But I know
She's the
I know
bait.
she's the bait, but I'm just saying.
Because Arnie was together with her, and he's like, "Gert arg, you've spited me, woman, so I'm gonna squish you in my car." So that's why, like,
Well, I'm just saying.
unfortunately for she was the damsel in distress. That's the whole kind of the whole deal. So yeah, that's why she's standing there like a Lee in headlights. So yeah,
I do like Lee. I feel like I'm ragging on Lee, but I do like her.
so yeah, Christine, love it. We'll watch it again next year. I might even watch it again this year.
I did just want to say as well, just a quick wee thing. I do
We're
notice.
never wrapping this up.
I know, just a minute.
You people are never going to bed.
I do love how I haven't seen every single Stephen King film or anything, or based on every film that's based on a Stephen King.
Skip to the end.
Shut up. I do love how I think. What did I say?
Who knows?
Christine's like, is Christine like based like in a small town as well, or is it like a?
Well, it's a suburby kind of area.
Yeah, I was going to say because he never seems to any of his films like being like a big town. Like, am I wrong? Not that I've seen, because obviously Stand By Me,
Yeah, so I think a lot of it's kind of based on some of his kind of like his
childhood
experiences kind of thing. So yeah, so like the whole thing is right what you know kind of thing. So, actually, because you kind of went off on that tangent, and I'm trying to kind of wrap it up politely for folks, I am going to go off on another tangent and talk about Arnie's parents.
Oh, yeah.
Because so obviously as it starts, you've got the mum who's just like this kind of.
He totally wears the trousers.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Because there's a scene where like Arnie watches like, that's it, I'm getting the fuck out of here, and like his dad's like, right, okay, I'm gonna be the father. It's like, how dare you? And then the mum just cuts him off.
What did you say?
Like, let's reenact.
Oh, Warren.
Go for it. I'll be the like, how dare you speak to your.
What did you say?
And then he's like, he actually shrinks back in. And there's another kind of scene a bit later on where like he looks at his kind of wife and he's like, we've decided to let you to help you buy a new car, and like, but like he looks at like he's like, we've decided to like, it's that kind of like, oh, like, and like at this point she's relatively distraught. Like as it progresses, like she does kind of break down a wee bit as Arnie's kind of like getting quite douchey. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's like, I can be the parent here. Oh, by the way, we're going to let you get a car. And it's like, well, fuck you, I'm going to fix up Christine.
I do have to say, though, that I think it's just after that dinner scene, and like Arnie, when he goes off, the dad does kind of push him. So he's just he
finds his way, but then, like, it doesn't kind of really end well for him.
I know, because Arnie kind of has him by the throat, doesn't he? Yeah. Just kind of, he's just like...
and he's just like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's just like...
Huh?
Yeah, but I'm just like, what's happened to my boy?
But yes, well, we'll wrap it there because I have no idea how much we've been kind of waffling on. Hopefully it was slightly entertaining for folks. Thank you very much for my lady for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me.
She may join me for other ones if she feels up to it.
If you do certain films, I will be. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I know which films they are. So yeah, thanks very much for kind of attending. Before we go, obviously I can see we've got a couple of viewers, so do you guys have any questions about the film? Do you want to ask us anything about the film, Erin? If you're still watching the film, not like whether or no, like, I know what guy had his kind of like legs shaved in a particular way in a particular film. But yeah, if there's any questions, slap them in the chat just now. We'll wait a second or two. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Right, I'm going to take that as a no. That's cool. If you're typing a really epic question, apologies. I'll hopefully kind of answer it at some other point.
Groot's being really cute right now.
Yeah, our cat is being super cute, but you're not getting to see because we refuse. Okay.
Being super cute.
Hang on. I don't know if that's anywhere near him.
No. Hello. Hello.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Say hi, Groot.
Hey, Groot.
There he is. Look at him go.
Hey, Groot.
Anyway. What's the next film going to be? Don't know, Aaron. I like to play fast and loose. So I have no idea. But I think at least this weekend I'm either going to watch all the Final Destination films back to back or Resident Evil films back to back as well.
Oh,
which
it's going to be something else.
But tomorrow, not too sure yet. We're also we watched the first episodes, The Haunting of Hill House last night. Mm-hmm. Really enjoyed that.
Really good.
Hung fire for a while because everybody's like, you should watch The Haunting of Hill House. It's like, yeah, no, I know. Like, I totally know. Like, I'm looking forward to it. No, but you should watch it. It's like, yeah, I know. Watch it. It's like, right, huh? So I refuse to watch it on principle.
For God's sake.
So yeah, 2 episodes in. I think we're going to chip away at that through this as well. So yeah. So yeah, bye people.
Bye.
Bye Erin, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for anybody
Thanks,
else who did
Erin.
actually pop by as well. Bye folks.
Bye.
See you later. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Oh God,
Bye.
nobody wants to see
Bye.
that close up.